Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's 5 p.m. on the nose, and we want to welcome you to our second Let's Talk for 2021. It's going to be a packed evening with lots of content to cover. We're going to be doing the Take of Five. We're going to be looking at consumer loans. We're joined here with Bocanoe Park representatives who are going to be going through some exciting home ownership opportunities for you. And of course, we're going to touch on the AGM, which a lot of members have been asking about. But before we do any of this, we need to go and start with our credit union prayer, which would be led by Director and Secretariat of the TTFSCU, Ms. Sharon Nicholson Charles. Sharon?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everybody. Join with me. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. And may I extend condolences to the family, Anika's family, on the passing of her father. And I pray that his soul rest in peace. Amen.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Good afternoon, everyone. Our members, we're so happy that you can join us this afternoon. Today, as I'd mentioned previously, it's going to be lots of content, lots of things to cover. I've left the itinerary up for everyone to have a look at. We just had the credit union prayer led by Ms. Sharon Nicholson Charles, who's the Director and Secretary of the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service Credit Union. I'm just going to go through right now a guide as to what to expect. But before I do that, as you can see on your itinerary, we're going to talk about a Take a Five promotion. What we've decided to do is to leave it in blocks to allow people to be able to ask questions after every segment. We're going to look at the Bocanoe Park housing opportunity. We have two members from Bocanoe Park here on our panel this afternoon. Of course, the director, Mr. Rolf Ferreira, and Ms. Natasha Subero, who is the corporate secretary. She's going to be taking us through a wonderful and very exciting presentation and opportunities in terms of how us as members, how all the membership can own a piece of their dream home. We're then going to go straight into Director and Secretary of the Products and Service Committee, Ms. Suzanne Lewis, who's going to go through the consumer loan opportunities. Of course, we have a Q&A session there as well. And we're going to ask the Director and Chairman of the Events Committee, Mr. Horace Leach, to give us an AGM update. And of course, we'll be taking all your questions at that point in time as well. And this will be followed by the final words by our President and Chairman of the Board, Mr. Garth Jacob. We're going to have an open Q&A session, and Mr. Jacob will close today's events, and we will be on our way. So I just gave a guide as to what to expect. We're asking that you ask your questions with regards to the topics that we're going to be covering at the point in time. We aim to answer all of your questions, and we encourage you to ask questions. So what I want to do now is I want to look at Take a Five. I want to thank the members for your participation so far. It's been a very popular promotion, and I wonder why. I guess it's simply because all of us, well, as a membership, you get to win one of your following bills paid for the entire year. And it's not just one member we're extending this to, we're extending this to 5 members. So imagine not having to pay groceries for the entire year, or pay for gas or water or cable or electricity. We're providing that opportunity for you. All you need to do, for those members that have not jumped on this as yet, because it's an ideal opportunity for you to not have to worry and to be able to fulfill some of the obligations that you may have, is to take out a share or a general loan to the value of $5,000. Every $5,000 after this will entitle you to another virtual entry form. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through how does it work? So everyone's very clear. Members, of course, must qualify for a minimum of $5,000 in a share or general loan only. So we're asking for you to go and qualify for share or general loans. And of course, we're asking you to do this by or before Thursday, the 15th of April. Once you qualify, you will receive a virtual application form. And of course, extra virtual application forms will be given for every 5,000 borrowed over the 5,000, the initial 5,000. I'm going to get, and I have been getting it every week, a list of members who qualify. For those of you that don't have email addresses, we really want you to have the opportunity to be one of those 5 members. We're going to be reaching out to you so we can get your email going, even if I have to sit on the phone and walk you through opening an email address and navigating through email. It's extremely important. You have an opportunity to not have to worry about paying one bill for the rest of the year. We want to be able to give you that opportunity because we will always remain committed to you. So I'm going to be sending the virtual application form via the marketing@TTFSCU email to all the qualifying members by 5 p.m. on Friday, the 16th of April. All members will receive their virtual application forms by the 16th. You have up until the 29th of April by 8 p.m. to hit submit. It can't be at 9 o'clock. It can't be any time after the time that we're asking you. And we're going to do a random draw. And of course, in the spirit of transparency, it's going to be done on Facebook Live. It's going to happen so everyone can see who the 5 members are. So we're really excited for all our membership to participate. Unfortunately, elected and appointed members and of course staff members of the FSCU are not eligible for this particular promotion. It is what it is. And of course, the prize, I just want to underscore the prizes. The prize is 5 members will win 1 bill up to the maximum of $5,000 for the rest of the year. So at this point in time, if you have any questions about the Take 5 promotion, I'm more than happy, and as well as our esteemed board members, thank you all for joining us this afternoon. I'm more than happy to answer any of the questions. So I'm seeing people saying good afternoon, Jude, good afternoon, Deepak, good afternoon, Matthew. Do you have any questions on the Take 5 promotion at this point in time? We're here and we're on standby waiting to answer any of those questions. Any questions? No? Okay, so far no one has asked any questions. We also have an open question and answer session at the end of this particular meeting. So at that point in time, if anything comes up with regards to Take 5, I'll be also happy to answer those questions. So I'm going to move on actually to housing opportunities. I'm going to invite Ms. Natasha Subero to lead us through these exciting opportunities from Bocano. Ms. Subero, anytime you're ready.
Hi, good afternoon, Anika. So are you seeing the presentation starting?
Yes, we're all seeing your screen.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. All of the members of the Fire Services Credit Union, it's a pleasure for me to be here. And, you know, I don't want to be remiss, but I want to acknowledge that right now, everyone, including myself, is, you know, so happy to have you and the heroes that the services represent right now as we are experiencing this global pandemic. I mean, we're truly recognizing the people that save lives and are just out there putting themselves first in line when things happen. So kudos to you guys, and you are the real heroes. But I think right now we feel really glad to be able to, in our organization, help make some of your dreams a reality. So I'm happy to bring this presentation to you right now. So let's get into it quickly. This presentation is about Bocano Park and Ella Vista Gardens. They are housing developments which have been developed by DG Homes, which is a Sangre Grande born and bred premier construction company, doing residential and commercial developments for the last 15 years. So Sangre Grande is where we are located, and we just want to tell you a little bit about Sangre Grande. For those of you who don't know it very well, I know a lot of you do, but many, many moons ago, people thought Sangre Grande was far. Not so anymore. I mean, with the development of the roadways, Sangre Grande is less than an hour from the airport. In fact, it might take you longer to get to Port of Spain from the airport than Sangre Grande. And again, with all of the commercial development that's been happening, you might be surprised to know that Sangre Grande is the second fastest growing residential community in Trinidad and Tobago, right after Chaguanas. And everything that you want, all of the conveniences, including a brand new massive supermarket, opened just about 2 months ago, with everything that you would find in any of the other major supermarkets. We have a upgraded fire station, upgraded banks, health centers, and so on. And of course, the beach is just about less than half an hour away when you're living in Sangre Grande. So all of that means that the modern conveniences you thought were only available down in the West is now available right there in Sangre Grande. So just getting into the meat of this, buying a home is one of the biggest expenses or investments that people take on, and it can be scary. Many organizations, including fire services credit unions, making an effort to make it easier for their members. And we have to applaud that. At Boacano Park and Ella Vista Gardens, we are also trying to make it easier for hardworking members of our society, for heroes to be able to make their dreams come true as well. So we have found a sweet spot between a beautiful home that you really want to come home to and affordability. Neighborhoods that you could see your children, playing in front in the yard and playing with the neighbors, and, being able to have that relaxed home environment in a setting that is reminiscent of greenery and nature and health and everything that we want for our lives. So the two developments I'm going to describe first, Boacano Park. Boacano Park is the open development where we have the homes, which are just about 1,400 square foot, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Now, the 1,400 square foot, if you are living in any of the urban centers from maybe Tunapuna to Samoa or anywhere like that, you will find that that is much larger than the apartment that you'd probably be living in. With that 1,400 square foot home, you will get no less than 5,000 square foot of land. So if you wanted to expand, you have more than enough land to do that. And it's really just on the main road. So if you had to travel, that is not a problem. It's literally on the main road. On the interior, we have really modern and sophisticated cabinetry, and we'll show some of that, and some really nice floors. So here are some pictures of the interior. This is the show home, and it looks almost fit for a magazine. These are simple yet really beautiful interiors that we've put together for your enjoyment. The master bedroom, which is the one pictured here, can easily fit a king-size bed. It comes with the wood PVC laminate flooring, and the bathrooms, you can see, they all come with frosted glass shower stalls and modern shower systems. So you could just see yourself waking up in the morning and spending your time in that bathroom and enjoying yourself and forgetting the timer. In the kitchens we have, you can see their mosaic backsplash and quartz countertops and the modern cabinetry. There are several items in the showroom that we would point out that don't come standard. Those include things like the air conditioning. You would appreciate that to keep prices as competitive as we have, we leave out some of the things that can still be included optionally if people want. So things like the decorative lighting and the bedroom closet are not included standard in the home, but everything can be included at a cost. Also optional, the gates, the perimeter wall, and yard pavers. Now, at Ella Vista Gardens, we have some larger homes which are really beautiful. If you look at the kitchen cabinetry here, you see we offer an option of some of the homes coming with wooden cabinets, really, really lush, beautiful cabinets. You can just see yourself relaxing and really enjoying being in this kitchen. The finishes, you have a bit of a wider range of finishes at Ella Vista Gardens, and topping it all off in Ella Vista Garden. Now, Ella Vista is a gated community, and there is a beautiful clubhouse, gym, and pool that is nearing completion. It should be finished by the end of April. Not many of these homes are left, so for those of you who may be interested in this life, you really need to get in touch with us quickly. This is just the front yard of the gated community show home in Ella Vista Gardens. And a quick note on the value of money and what you can be doing with your money right now. Over the last 20 years, home prices in Trinidad and Tobago have been growing really, really quickly, and they've been outpacing the returns that you would get on investment. So if you're looking at the next 20 years, your money may potentially be much better invested in a home than in other types of investment. So if you can afford to, you can also look at it as an investment. In fact, we have a solid example of a purchaser in Boacano Park who bought at 980 in 2018 and sold at 1.1 in 2020, 2 years later, and he got a 12% return. And that's a fact. Our special offer to fire services members, while our prices are really, really good, we wanted to give you something extra. And for the next, up until June 15th, fire service members will get 2%, an additional 2% off our prices, which start at 1.1 million at Boacano Park. At Ella Vista Gardens, you'll get an additional 1% off the prices, which start at 1.385 million. And for the homes that we're offering, I mean, this is really fantastic. Now, in both cases, you would have to avail of the offer by making a down payment and signing a sales agreement before June 15th. So if you thought that was a great deal, we're really going to top it all off and make you smile, because if you buy a home in Boacano Park before the end of April, you also have a chance to win a fully furnished home. Can you imagine that? A new home with all the new furnishings. Really, this is about making dreams come true. And we're hoping to see a lot of smiles and a lot of happy homeowners over the next couple of weeks. We are doing showings, but of course, observing all the necessary health protocols. And we encourage you to get in touch with us to take advantage of both special offers in the next couple of hours or days, so that you can enjoy your own home, making your dream come true in this really lovely environment. So thank you for your time, and we're looking forward to having you as our neighbors and enjoying the peace and serenity and healthy living in Sangre Grande. Thank you for listening, and I'm happy to take any questions that any of your members will have. Questions and comments, welcome.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sabero. We're asking our members at this point in time, if you have any questions, to please ask it at this point. We want to be able to have those questions answered. So while we wait on that, I will ask the rest of the directors. There's a question that came in from Candace earlier with regards to the Take a 5, and she's asking if you have a loan already, can you still apply for Take a 5? Sharon?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So they asked, Candace asked, if you already have a loan, can you still apply for Take a 5?
Once she could qualify for the loan, yes.
Great. And we're asking right now, Members, we have quite a few of you watching. Are there any questions for our colleagues at Wakanu Park? Now is your time. I mean, when seeing those amazing, that bathroom, I have to say is quite something. So kudos to Wakanu Park. Are there any questions with regards to this? We're just giving it a little while to see. Now is your time, members, to ask. I don't know, Mr. Ferreira, if there's anything you want to add at this point in time before we move on.
I would just like to, again, thank Fire Services for the opportunity. And we already have a few of your colleagues living in Wakanu Park and Ella Vista, who, from what I'm told, are quite happy with where they live. And I had the pleasure of actually visiting with one of them at Christmas to sample some of their Christmas offerings. So I am hoping that many of the fire service members come and join so that I can stop by and join you for your culinary treats from time to time. But as Ms. Subero said, we have to thank all of you in the protective and related services for taking such good care of us in Trinidad. It's a tough time for everyone. And we just look forward to welcoming you if you decide to join us here in Sandy Grande. Thank you.
Okay, so we're asking members, we're going to move right on now to consumer loans.
Vincent. Hi, Anika. Vincent was asking for the pricing to just remind us of the pricing.
Sure. At Wakanu Park, homes there start at 1.1 million. And in Ella Vista, the homes there start at 1.385 million.
Our offer to us is?
Your offer to us on Wakanu Park is 2% off on the listed prices once you enter into a sales agreement and pay a deposit prior to June the 15th. The same date applies to Ella Vista, but the offer there is 1%. And that is the gated community. Okay. We would love to have you all come up and at least have a look at what we're offering. And we would be happy to coordinate with fire services to arrange meaningfully sized, safe groups in light of all the protocols we have to go through. So if we need to book a few weekends back to back to facilitate members who'd like to come and see our offerings, we'd be happy to do so.
Mr. Ferrer and Ms. Subero, we have a question, and the question comes from Joel Cuffey, and he's asking, the Ella Vista home is more expensive. Is the living space larger?
We have a range of house sizes in Ella Vista, up to as much as, I think, 1,800 or 2,000 square feet. And obviously, there's a range of prices as well. I think the prices go up to about 1.8 million. Whereas in Wakanu Park, currently the prices are at 1.1 million. But the square footage of the house in Wakanu Park is a standard 1,430 square feet of covered area.
Okay, thank you.
And I can add that in addition to the larger living space at Ella Vista Gardens, don't forget the pool, the clubhouse, and the gym, which is under construction. It's looking really, really good. Yeah, really I would encourage your members to visit the website where they might get updates on what's happening from time to time. That would be wakanopark.com and dghomestt.com, so that you can see some of what's going on and get additional information in case you miss anything in this presentation. And of course, feel free to call anytime.
What I would also like to add is that our homes at Wakanu Park in this current phase of the development will be ready for handover at the end of next month, April. Just over half of them have already been sold, so there are a few left for any members of fire services who would like to join us up here.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And I want to say good afternoon to those members who are saying that they're on. Rhonda, Jovel, Joey, Joel, Candace, Darren, Matthew, Deepak, Jude, welcome, and welcome to all the other members as well. At this point, we're going to ask our director.
Sorry, Anika.
Sure.
Sorry, Anika. Another question, and I don't know why they're posing questions to me.
Okay.
What was the question again,
Taking us
Jesus?
out.
She said, it was said that you emphasize the amenities for Isla Vista and not Bacano. Could you just indicate?
Okay, sure. Bacano Park is not a gated community. It's just an open community. The amenities that will be included would primarily be open spaces, green spaces, play parks for kids to play, and we are contemplating putting in a convenience type store. That isn't 100%, but that's something we're thinking about doing. As there's going to be a third phase as well, which is probably another 50 or so houses within the next 6 to 8 months after this settle through.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk consumer loans at this point in time, and we're asking our Secretariat of the Products and Service Committee and Director, Ms. Suzanne Lewis, to walk us through the consumer loan offerings. Good afternoon, Ms. Lewis.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, all. Well, the consumer loan was developed as a partnering initiative for the Police Credit Union Consumer Division. And we would have done that since 2017. Since then, our loan have been expanded to include all businesses where the major consumer products are sold. This loan provides the members with the option of purchasing items in cash from the sellers and making monthly payments at a lower interest rate through our society's loan. The loan is available to all members who are in good standing and whose DSR does not exceed 55%. But members must note that when we disburse the funds, they will be done in the form of a check and will be payable to the selected institution that you would have chosen to purchase the item from. The loan is designed to operate similar to that of a demand loan and will be unsecured. It therefore means that it does not affect your ability to get a loan through the use of your shares as a collateral. Some of the main features of the loan would include that the maximum value of the loan is $25,000. It means that you can purchase to the amount of $25,000. The maximum repayment period, I am seeing here on the item, is 48 months. And the interest on the loan is 1% on the reducing balance. Please note that the normal criteria concerning loans would apply. If a member should choose to refinance this particular loan, they can only take the loan up to a maximum of $25,000. And in this case, it means that the members should have at least paid off 30% of the loan before they can access a refinancing on this loan. Members may be pleased to know that there are varying amount of the repayment period, so that between $1,000 to $5,000, you would have at least 18 months to repay the loan, up to $10,000, 24 months to repay the loan, and thereafter, you would have the 48 months to pay the loan. So, are there any questions?
We're asking our members again. We're looking for questions. We're waiting for questions. We have no questions at this point in time.
Anika, just to say that
Yes.
this loan, while it would have started as a byproduct of wanting to do business with our member credit union, that is the Police Credit Union, when persons purchase items from their consumer department, they actually get a 10% discount on the items that they would purchase through Police Credit Union. That's one of the bonus for purchasing at Police Credit Union through our consumer loan. And now that we have the mortgage product, it's actually a nice product to go along with it, with the mortgage, seeing that you'll be able now to access a loan separate from your mortgage to be able to purchase items for your home. That is if you don't win your prize at Bacano Park. So you can actually get a loan to furnish your house, and we will be offering up to a maximum of $25,000. Just for members to know that any variation in the repayment period, you just have to seek through the credit committee permission for waiving of the established criteria.
Thank you. I should be asking now Director Nicholson Charles, are there any questions? Because there are no questions on my end. So I'm going to ask you.
Neither minds.
Okay. So while we wait for members to ask their questions, we're going to move straight into the AGM. I know that there are lots of questions we're going to ask our esteemed director, Mr. Horace Leach, who is also the chairman of the events committee, to walk us through the AGM and the updates that are happening with AGM and the decisions that the board has made. Good afternoon, Mr. Leach.
A blessed and pleasant good afternoon to the membership, all members who has linked in or Zoom in to our virtual members meeting. Read the AGM. I'm happy to announce on behalf of the board of directors that the AGM 2020 will be virtually held. And this is in keeping with the country's concern about COVID-19 with regards to the social distance. The people who appears to be most vulnerable are the aged people, those over 65, 60, 65. So we are thinking in terms of doing our bit to keep them as healthy and far from COVID-19. So our AGM is carded for May 29th, 1 p.m. Virtual. Right. The management who would be addressing or delivering message on behalf of the committees. So far, we haven't contacted a suitable venue. We are looking, if the Arima Fire Station, or sorry, if the Arima Credit Union branch office is fully completed and ready to be open, we can use there for it. Or presently, we are thinking of the credit union board office or boardroom in Port of Spain, where the members who are reporting to the membership, the elected members who report to the membership, would be addressing the members from there. Other members who want to be around, who want of elected committees, you can be housed or accommodated in the member area in the said office downstairs. I was asked a question up to yesterday that Eastern Credit Union is holding an AGM, and it is a physical. Now, if you want to hold a physical meeting, the Ministry of Health, the Cooperative Credit Union Division, give us 90 minutes to complete your meeting. We know an AGM in Fire Service Credit Union would not take 90 minutes. We cannot do it in 90 minutes. Now, what Eastern is doing, what Eastern Credit Union is doing now is completing their 2019 AGM, because the 90 minutes allocated had it incompleted when it was at Hyatt, Hotel. So they are now completing their meeting, the 1990 meeting in 2020, because of that same time frame and inadequacy. During this meeting, all elected officers, the board, there will be 3 members to be re-elected, and the credit committee, all 5, supervisors committee, all 5. Some members must be asking, maybe asking why 5, when recently it was stated that you go on for the people who get the most votes go on for two years, and the others repeat annually. But this is so because that 2 years has now elapsed, it is past, So all 5 on each of those committees are to seek nomination for re-election. Plus, there are 3 members of the board who would be going out. The Liaison Officer South and Tobago would also be elected on that very day. Also, the Education Officer Representative for Tobago would be also elected at that set. Nominations are out. It is in the newspapers as I speak. Our members can apply online with their nomination. I'm now open for any questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Director Leach. We're throwing this out now to the rest of the membership that are viewing right now. Do you have any questions for us? We're here, we're available to answer those questions. Mr. Leach, just to also share with you, the online leg of the nominations will be ready by tomorrow. So it will be sent out via the mailer. So everyone will be able to use their PDF or writable PDF and fill in the information.
Thank you very much. That is very good news.
Okay, we just got a question. Yes, you have
No,
questions.
go ahead.
You please do, please ask.
Just a reminder, we normally hold the, Mr. Leach touched on it. We normally hold the Tobago annual general meeting during the first two months of the year, and it's just to sensitize members that we would be incorporating them just like we do with the South members at this AGM. See Mr. Andrews hand up.
Yes, I was just about to say that. Mr. Andrews, please feel free to jump in.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon, how are you?
Afternoon.
Welcome to the virtual AGM. I just want to raise issue with something that Mr. Leach would have mentioned. He mentioned that all 5 persons, well, for the supervisors specifically, I know that the last AGM we had 2 members were elected, myself and Ishmael, and we have to serve a period for 2 years. Up to this time we would have served 1, and then we are going on to the 2nd. So if that is the case, it will mean that myself and Ishmael will not be going up for election this year. So in essence, there will be 3 spots available. 3 members are coming off, but the 2 will remain. So I just wanted to add some clarity to that.
Mr. Andrews, from the cooperative division, it doesn't go as a cycle. Those who poll the highest vote at the AGM, the first 3, they will serve 3 years, and the other 2 would serve 1 year. After the end of that 2 year that the first 3 would have served, everybody has to go back. That's from the commissioner's office. We confirm it with the commissioner's office at a meeting on the 16th of March to make sure that the explanation and the interpretation of that bylaw.
Okay, I think we may have to discuss this further on our next forum, but that's not in the bylaw. Okay.
Okay, I just want to go back to a couple of questions that our membership are asking, questions that they are asking at this point in time. So the first question is with regards to the consumer loans, and this is for Director Lewis. Can you use any reputable appliance store nationwide with regards to the consumer loan?
Definitely.
So the answer is yes? Okay,
yes, definitely.
Great.
All the member has to do is to go to the respective institution and get a quotation, and you would submit the quotation with your request for the loan at the credit union, and it will be facilitated through that means.
Okay, wonderful. I have another question. The arrangement to obtain items from the Police Credit Union Consumer Department Do we go there and identify ourselves as fire officers, or do we obtain a document from the FSCU?
They can go directly to the police credit union and identify themselves. Some of our members do have our ID, which would have been given a very, very long time ago. If not, if you have your fire service, not your fire service, you're actually, they would verify with us in terms of the membership, but you can go directly to them, letting them know that you're a member. Of course, through your account number, they'd be able to verify whether or not you are a member.
Okay, wonderful. The other question isn't actually on the agenda, but we need to ask it anyway. This regards the Bacalet land in Tobago. They're asking if the land that's for sale in Tobago, is it hilly or is it flat? Can anyone answer?
It's a gentle slope.
I'm sorry?
It's flat. It's flat.
Oh, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Jacob. Thank you so much.
The 20 lots that we would have purchased in the phase that we are, it's relatively flat land. There are no hills there.
Okay, great. Thank you. So we're at that point in time, and now it's time for some closing remarks. We're going to ask our president and chairman of the board, Mr. Garth Jacob, to say some final words.
Oh, it's that time already.
It's that time.
Good afternoon, members. And again, I want to say welcome to our virtual interaction. It is the form that we have to interact because of COVID-19. And on behalf of the Board of Directors, Management Committees, the staff, I want to say thank you. We have a lot, as you would have seen, to offer at our credit union, right? We are preparing for our AGM exercise on the 29th of March. Is it May? Is it? Yes. Yes. So I want to remind members to get themselves ready for that virtual interaction because registration would start soon. So we have a lot to report, and I am as glad to come to the membership to report on my stewardship and the stewardship of my board. Again, I want to reiterate the Bacano Park offer. It's a great offer. And just to remind members, we offer mortgages up to 1.8 million. So that is right within our alley. So please make good those offers made by Bacano and DG Homes. They are lovely premises. I had the opportunity to view them. And they are more than comfortable and more than affordable for our members. And just to add to it, you know, the Fire Service Credit Union is more than happy to make that dream happen for you. You know?
All right.
On the issues of, well, consumer loans and that, we have our portfolio. And again, members, this organization is yours. And we are your humble servants to treat with your business as you may direct, and all that authority is given to you under our bylaws. So I'm expecting you to participate in our AGM exercise. It's one of the most democratic processes we have in this organization. And I'm just as glad to have been your president for that time. I don't know if anybody have any particular question for me at this time. Anika, is there?
Yes, there are quite a few questions. The first one comes from George Lewis. He says, good afternoon, members. Is it possible to have some COVID-19 protocol venues in different locations to assist the members who are not tech savvy so they can be a part of the AGM?
That would be And I'm being very candid and frank, that would be a very expensive exercise. But coming out of the last virtual interaction, we would have taken note of some of the concerns of the members, and we are having, how to put it, we are having some training and some classes to deal with persons who not tech savvy and how to interact on the forum. Not so Sharon and Mr. Leach, when
Yes,
that's
sir.
one of the things that we have planned. I didn't hear it coming out in the interaction, but the members are asking, and it's one of the things we would have discussed at the board for that holistic total interaction. Because coming out of the last interaction, we would have realized that at physical meetings, we would have missed the mark, because at the last interaction, we would have had persons from England and Canada and in the US congratulating us, saying it's the first time in the history of the credit union they were able to participate. And I mean, we are right here in Trinidad and Tobago. So it gives us that opportunity to participate. Less than probably 10% of the membership comes physically to the AGM, and this is an opportunity holistically for us to get more than that participating in the democratic process. So as to that question, Mr. Lewis, no, the board did not consider having various physical locations with COVID probabilities, because it's going to be an expensive exercise, and every expense would cut into your dividends.
Mr. Chair,
Okay,
Mr. Chair, in addition to that, in looking at venues, most of the venues that we normally use or that are suitable for hosting an event like this indicated that they are not, they're not going above the government's restrictions in terms of gathering.
Yes,
so,
and truly,
and on top of that,
and truly, we heard Mr. Leach saying they're very, 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 very strict on 90 minutes. I know other credit unions would have tried the physical way, and I know some of them didn't get past the point of registration. So we don't want to fall into that and having to complete AGM in 2 years' time. I think the virtual experience will give us that opportunity to complete our business within that time and to do it safely, especially for older members who is most at risk.
Mr. Chair?
Aye.
Just a reminder as well, when we have various venues, it means that persons from the commissioner's office would have to have representatives of the various venues as well.
We don't want to stretch their resources to...
They don't have the resources.
To that point. Yes, Anika, are there any more questions?
Yes, there are. With regard to the AGM, we have a member asking, Siobhan Lewis, when are the brochures going to be available?
Very soon. There are some issues that we are treating with in terms of, I think we're supposed to sign off on the financials sometime next week, and to do a proofreading of it to send it off to the printers. But as far as I'm aware, all the reports are in, and the financials are completed. We are having the finance manager reviewing them now for the signing off to send to the printers to have the brochures ready. But also for this year, we will also have the brochure available electronic. So even if you don't get a physical brochure, you would be able to download it and prepare for the meeting.
Mr. Chair as well.
Yes, Susan.
So, yeah, in preparation as well, remember we are now going through the process of nomination, so we'd want to have those persons who are putting themselves up for election to also be in the brochure.
Yes, yes. So we are giving Director Vincent, who's the chairperson of the nomination committee, that opportunity to receive his nominations so that we could have all of them included in the brochure. Yes.
Chair, there's another question with regards and a comment from Siobhan Lewis. She says, well, for future reference, we can look at a hybrid AGM. PS, postscript, what exactly is that dividend percentage?
Say that again, please. I missed that last part.
She's saying, she's asking, what exactly is the dividend percentage? I'm assuming that
I can certainly say
It won't be less than last year.
It would be less than last year.
what was given last year. We would have surpassed what was given last year. And it would be really interesting, but I need for you to come to the meeting for us to approve those recommendations.
there is another question, but this regards the lots in Tobago. They're asking what is the asking price per lot in Tobago and the size of the lots.
The size of, there are varying sizes in the 20 lots, and which would also include, there will be varying prices. Please contact Mrs. Abaruso, or credit manager, and she would treat with all those details with you. But there are lots available, and please treat with Ms. Amaruso, and she would deal with that.
Well, for his information, the lots Sunday start at about 5,300 square feet and go right up to about just a little under 8,000 square feet. It's at $65 a square foot, so you can do the calculations.
Okay, so we're asking members, do you have any other questions at this point in time? We're here to answer all of your questions.
There's a question from Mr. Mitchell.
Okay. You're seeing a question from Mr. Mitchell?
Yes, I do. Yes, I am.
Okay.
I have a concern about libelous statements being made about staff and board members on WhatsApp group chat. Is the board aware of these statements? If so, what action is being taken to address it? I don't want to repeat the statement. That's what I'm saying here.
Yes, members. I know that the silly season is coming around. You know, I always know when we are going to have elections and things of the sort. All sort of spurious allegation and information about board members and their integrity and the staff and the other just mysteriously spreading around on WhatsApp. You know, I'm inundated with calls about that. Boy, what can I say? I think for the last 6 years, the membership, you know me. For the last 4 or 5, vice president and the president. I think my track record and integrity would speak for itself personally. And those are some of the personal characteristics that I practice. I am no thief. I don't intend to be a thief in this life or the next. And these people who would take the time to do that, I hope when the time for scrutiny comes that they could stand up to scrutiny just as like me. Those statements are not true. I run no cabal. I have a board of 9, well, together with me, 9 persons, 8 independent thinkers. Praise God. And I don't think I run a cabal. I have no interest in running one. And I don't intend to run the Fire Service Credit Union as such. And if these people are so brave, and then if those allegations are true, give me a name and we would deal with it elsewhere. That is what I have to say. But I'm very much prepared to report to the membership, and I would probably have my time at the AGM. But I just want to caution members, when you allow persons to spread these dangerous rumor, it tends to erode the confidence and the integrity of your organization, right? It's an organization more than 50 years old. We're going very seamlessly to $500 million in assets. And we rarely seen about our members' business. And for persons to try to attack the integrity of the organization because probably they can't get their way, right, in a democratic organization, then probably truly they shouldn't be members here with us. They should take their business and go elsewhere if they so choose. But that is what I have on it. The chips will fall where they may, but I am open to scrutiny, and I challenge any one of my 7,000 plus members. If you find me at fault in wrongdoing, then I will pay the price.
Okay, I have a question here from another member, Chair. And the question is, good afternoon. In nominating credit committee members, is there a screening committee that evaluates the level of education for persons desirous of the position?
Yes, we have the nomination committee, but because of our bylaws and the way our elections are held, we are limited in the level of screening that they can do, because I think what the bylaw prefers is that once you are a member and a member in good standing and of the such, so I know it's a very important committee, and we will very shortly move to fit and proper to fill those positions. But as it stands, we are bound by our bylaws and our rules and the methods of operation, and the first line of screening would come from the nomination committee. And the second would be the membership voting for that particular member on the day. So that's why it's so integral and important that we get their biographic data to put into the brochure so that people could also scrutinize and see if these people are suitable enough to run their business.
Great. I have another question from Mr. Mark Melville. Good day, just a general question. Can members meet with the board? Also, what is the duration time for the land in Tobago?
Yes, Mr. Mark Melville, good afternoon. And firstly, I want to say to you, I know why you want to meet with the board, but you took a particular course of action by engaging the Commissioner of Cooperatives with your issue. And until they treat with it, I don't think it's reasonable for you to meet with the board until I'm directed by the commission as to what the outcome of your issue is that you complained about. I don't have to say it here, but I'm saying to you, it would make no sense for you to reach with the board when I'm waiting on a reply from the commissioner. Probably after that, then we could sit and have that discussion that you want to. As it relates to the Tobago land, I think we have how many lots left, Madam Secretary? 16? 16 or so, it's 16? 16 or 17, somewhere about, and it's first come, first serve. And again, members, please interact with Mrs. Amaruso on this matter, and she will treat with you accordingly.
Okay. We're asking the rest of the membership if there are any questions at this point in time. Please ask, as we're right on the hour. Okay, I have a question. This is from Kimora Williams. Good afternoon. Is there an approximate time that the lawyers take to finalize a mortgage application?
No, there's not an approximate time, because we would have issues that they would have to treat with. I cannot put a direct timeline on it, but I would venture to say I hope it's as soon as possible and following due diligence in the process.
Thank you, Chair. We're asking members if they have any final questions to please ask us at this point in time with regards to anything that we would have covered today, be it Take a 5, the consumer loans, the Bacano Park opportunity, or the AGM, or any other questions that you may ask. Now is your time. You have the board of directors here. We have our president and chairman of the board waiting for your questions. So we're going to ask you, final call. Are there any questions? Well, Chair, I don't think there are any further questions at this point in time.
Okay. So I guess it would also be remiss of me, Anika, it was brought to my attention that you would have suffered a death of a very close family member. I want to say on behalf of the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service Credit Union Board, management, staff, and members that we do accept our condolences and know that we sympathize with you in your time of grief now. And just to the members, Anika's father would have passed away recently, and under the circumstances, she's holding up very well, doing our virtual interaction this afternoon. So I just want to, on behalf of the organization and the membership, express our deepest condolences to you and your family, and all would be well. The Bible tells us that weeping endure it for a night, but for sure that certainly joy will come in the morning, and we express that, and is our hope for your family as well.
Thank you very much, Chair, and I really appreciate it. I will always remain committed to the TTFSCU, so I will grieve and I will be okay. Thank you.
Right, so members, once again, thank you so much for giving us of your time to meet virtually in this space. Again, I am very pleased with the interaction and some of the questions. I really wasn't prepared to speak of that libelous thing because I don't want anything to sidetrack me from getting to that AGM where we would treat with our business in a particular way. But again, members, I just want to remind you during this time of the pandemic, I want you to stay safe. I want you to be supportive with other persons, you know, and be kind. Just be kind, because we know that under lockdown, people's nerves could really act up, and just be kind to one another. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the 29th. Are we having any other virtual interaction before that? I think we should.
Just the week before the AGM.
Right, so the week before the AGM, it's the expectation that we will meet again. So until then, I want to tell you thank you very much. And again, as your president, I'm telling you, without any resolve, your organization is solid, our assets are strong, and we are destined to do bigger and better things for our membership in 2021. I thank you again, and please have a lovely afternoon and stay safe until our next interaction. Good evening.